Welcome to Nutanix Live. I'm Angelo, Community Manager at Nutanix, and today we have a friend of the community, Chris Brown, Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Nutanix. You've seen him on many Nutanix University videos, doing whiteboards or light boards as they call them now. But welcome to Nutanix Live, Chris.
Thanks for having me, Angela.
And let's just get this out of the way first before we get into the questions in the demo. What happened and how did you get red hair?
Well, it's either quarantine madness or a quarter life crisis, one of the two, or a combination. I figured that there was no better time to try out all of the crazy hair that I never got to do in college. So I tried blue, but that was too much. I was an Oompa Loompa or something. So decided to make it red.
Great. And just to continue with that theme of trying out something, today we're going to talk about Nutanix Test Drive, something that you've been involved in developing with the team at Nutanix. We're just going to quickly give folks a little bit of context on that, and then we're going to go right into a demo with that. So, Chris, a lot of companies now are offering, software as a service, try before you buy. How common are these sort of try before you buy offerings becoming?
So you brought up a great point with the SaaS and the software tools. They often have trials. They often have a extended test this out or what have you. But if you look back, try before you buy has always been critical to the IT world. With pure hardware plays or more of the hardware focused vendors, you'll have a POC, proof of concept, where you take their gear and you install it and you run some test suites or you run some actual workloads on it. And that's because it's easy to say something on slides. It's much harder to actually make it happen. So what we wanted to do with Nutanix Test Drive is give people the ability to instantly get access to Nutanix software and see for themselves the simplicity that we're always talking about and how easy Nutanix makes it to manage your infrastructure and all of the solutions available to you within Nutanix.
Right. And at times there's sometimes a reluctance to give these try before you buy offerings a go. What are some of the common hesitations you've seen from people before wanting to take a sort of test drive?
Yeah, it's a great question. For most people, the biggest blocker or the thing that drives the people away from trying out a particular solution is actually a complicated form. The more information you have to provide before you're allowed to touch somebody's software, it requires you being that much more interested in whatever they're trying to show you. The worst, of course, are things like, oh, well, give us your credit card. Kind of feels like a gym membership. You're worried that you won't be able to cancel it or something. But for me personally, the absolute worst is when I fill out a form and then the thank you page, rather than giving me access to the software, says our sales team will be in contact with you. I don't want to talk to a sales team right now. I want to see your software. I don't want to explain what I'm thinking. I don't want to explain my project. I want to just try out what you're offering because your website has a bunch of great blurbs, but I want to see what it actually means for me. And so that's the biggest problem.
Right.
What we tried to do with Nutanix Test Drive here was remove all of those frictions. We actually made it so we just you give us your email address, we send you an email. You're into a Nutanix cluster with guided tours on what to do. Our goal was to remove any friction from the process so that you don't have to worry about setting up or installing or configuring. You're able to get in and start seeing Nutanix for yourself whenever, wherever.
Right. And with our product portfolio being so broad, how do you choose which features to include in a test drive?
So our first goal was to tell the core Nutanix story. Why HCI with Nutanix AOS is a no-brainer for any virtualized infrastructure. From there, we wanted to expand into those areas that users dread, but are actually incredibly simple and easy on Nutanix. A great example of this is actually our Xi Leap test drive. Xyleap, for those who don't know, provides DR as a service, basically the ability to take a workload running on-prem, send snapshots to the cloud, and then fail over in case your primary site gets hit with a meteor or power outage or whatever may come. Our guided tour in the test drive shows you how easy it is to configure, set up, and even fail over to the Xi Cloud infrastructure in just a few clicks, which has really been an eye-opening experience for our customers.
What exactly can users expect to do with our latest test drive?
With Test Drive, we've integrated most of the Nutanix portfolio, meaning that there's something for everyone. We have everything from multi-cloud orchestration to database operations to BCDR to just runbooks, meaning that there's something for everyone. Our guided tours within the test drive help direct users to the topic that's most interesting to them and then show related topics that may enhance what they just learned or show them a new area that they hadn't thought of that would be very valuable to them. Basically, it means that there's never been an easier time to get familiar with Nutanix software and see for yourself the simplicity that if you talk for more than 5 minutes to any Nutanix employee, will tell you about. Simplicity is an interesting thing because it's easy to say, it's easy to hear, but when you actually see it and touch it for yourself, that's the only way you really understand how simple something could be. And that's really what we want to deliver in the test drive.
Great. Chris, I know we have a demo lined up. Why don't you walk us through what we can expect to see in test drive?
Absolutely. Let me pull up my screen. Here, you see our main test drive landing page. So as I mentioned, it's just an email address. Type that in, you get an email. That email has an access link. Clicking on that link will drop you right into Prism Central, which is our management interface. Our walkthrough guide there. Our click-through guide then pops up, asking what you want to learn about today and what you want to see. For instance, Modernize Your Infrastructure will show you how Nutanix AOS is the best solution for HCI and how much easier it can be there. Automate Operations will show you how to orchestrate and automate workloads across clouds and also to set up runbooks so that you can have trigger-based automation. Ensure Business Continuity will show you how to do backup in DR, and Consolidate Your Data will show you how easy it is to have files, objects, VM, even container all on the same platform. So let's go into Modernize Your Infrastructure. We now have 3 different tasks we can go into. For instance, if we wanted to create VMs, click on that, and then the click-through tour will show us exactly where to click and give us a little bit more information about what's going on and what at each step. This tour can be dismissed, giving you the ability to walk around freely, check out whatever you want, explore on your own, because this is a full Nutanix cluster. This is not a mock-up or something faked. This is an actual Nutanix cluster running in the public cloud. And if you run into any problems, you can always pull up the chatbot. We have a team that manages and staffs this chatbot, which allows us to respond to any questions you may have, be it about how does this feature work, or I want to schedule a meeting. That's all built right into the interface. I don't want to go too deep into any one of these because I want you to explore them for yourself. Once again, it's easy for me to click through. It's easy for you to watch a video of it, but doing it for yourself, that's where the real light bulb moment happens.
That's great, Chris. And if folks wanted to get started today, it's nutanix.com/test drive, correct?
That's correct. That'll get you right in, and you're able to start seeing for yourself.
Good stuff. Would love to see folks interacting on that and also engaging with us, letting us know what they've experienced. So that's great. And Chris, finally, before we let you go, we like to let our audience learn about our guests in a more personal way. And I wanted to know what are some non-technology things that you like to try before you buy. But before you answer that, I have to let folks know some inside baseball here that Chris is super technical because we were trying to get the lights just right in his house. And here I am, I would just go and flick the switches around the room, but Chris is like on his phone and dimming the light, turning it up. So he's completely teched out. So what non-technology things do you like to try before you buy?
The main one I'd say is a vacation. I'd love to get another week off and my money back if it turns out that a vacation was terrible.
Yeah. Got it. All right, Chris, thanks so much for chatting today. Really appreciate the time and the demo. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next Nutanix Live.